All right, welcome to Dual Redundancy, the only podcast where you can hear all latest in television and entertainment news with too many hosts with exactly the same opinions. I'm one of those hosts, David Allen, and another one is
John Berwick, and the third one is
Kyle Bridger. I would say that I am the Peacemaker to John's Eagly to Dave's. You can be vigilante. You just really want to be friends with me.
Yeah, we got nicknames, right, Kyle? Well, I could go by our initials, right?
Yeah.
Vigilante and Peacemaker.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to construe it. No, let's not put that up. No. Yeah, we'll be talking about Peacemaker, the new HBO Max superhero show. And then we have a show on Netflix, a little bit of a horror mystery show. We'll break down Archive 81. But we have a lot of other things to talk about tonight, including this first segment. And I don't know what it is. John?
In and Out Points.
In or the out. In or the out. In, out.
Yes, it is in and out points. And got a few of them tonight. And the first one involves Letterboxd. We're a couple of weeks into 2022. But Letterboxd last week released their stats from 2021. So we got some data we could look at tonight of some of the movies that made the top of the list for those Letterboxd users from the past year. Let's hear the highest rated film. Any guesses of what it is? Any guesses? The highest rated, the highest score from Letterboxd users.
Of just films from 2021 or just
2021.
Oh man. Well, I gotta imagine
168 million ratings were cast. 168 million ratings.
I gotta imagine it's gotta be some kind of Marvel situation, probably, right?
You would assume so.
It was No Way Home or whatever, the Spider-Man in there.
Ding, ding, ding.
Woo!
Spider-Man No Way Home had a score of 4.2, and that's out of 5. Again, 168 million ratings were cast and tabulated, and it was found out that Spider-Man is the highest rated film of 2021. None of us have seen it yet, I don't believe.
No, I was going to ask you if you had seen it yet.
No, right. There was another, was it? Because they're all about variants, right? In the Spider-Verse or whatever. A different variant came to New York City right in time for Spider-Man No Way Home. But yeah, it won over some Oscar hopefuls on the list. Number 8 was Licorice Pizza. Number 9, Dune. 10, Judas and the Black Messiah, because that technically is a 2021 film.
Wow.
So Spider-Man No Way Home was higher rated than those awards films. But let's see here. What about popular film? Let's go with popular. Do you think Spider-Man held on to the crown, or a different film was the most popular film, most ratings logged in?
Okay,
the system.
So just the most watched, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Of 2021.
Yes.
I got to be honest, I have no idea with a guess. John, do you have one?
I know.
Yeah, he knows.
I can see. It's on my preview monitor.
No. Can you give me a hint?
It wasn't Star Wars. It was close.
Okay. That doesn't help me at all.
We talked about it on the pod this year.
Oh man, I know, but we talk about so much. You can use that in a promo, John.
We talk about so much. Kyle Bridger.
I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Dude.
Oh man, I was thinking about it, but I didn't know if it was just me.
Duncan, Idaho for the win.
Yeah.
Dune is the most popular film. It just beat out Spider-Man No Way Home. That was number 2. There's some other superhero films on the list. Number 3 was Black Widow. Number 4 was the Suicide Squad 2021 edition. And number 5 was Shang-Chi. So a lot of superhero movies logged.
But
I mean, that makes a little bit more sense. Obviously Spider-Man had a ginormous box office, but it's only in at least Dune was in theaters. It was on HBO Max. Same with Suicide Squad here. I think Black Widow had a Marvel release, or I mean a Disney Plus release.
Yeah.
So maybe it pays to have multiple ways to see your film if you want people to see it.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking that this answers your question, Dave. Like, you're like, who's into Dune? Apparently a lot of people. So yeah.
The box office wasn't.
Yeah.
But the Letterboxd numbers certainly were.
Yeah. So they're getting it somewhere. They're watching it somewhere.
Yes. Let's see here. The most anticipated list. They did like a most anticipated for 2022, and that will lead in to our many other in and out point with this. We talked about our films when what we're looking forward to this year. What do you think made the most anticipated list for next year?
Oh man, what did we have? What were some ones that we had? Dude, I'm losing my mind. I'm like 1,000 years old.
Let's see. Well, I don't want to give away all the picks here
but
so soon.
Because I think we had some. I gotta look back at the list. I don't even remember
2022 movies. Let's see here. I'm gonna. Oh well, this pretty much is the answers. I don't want to do this.
Let me see if I can find 2022 movies.
Yes.
Bang.
Ding ding ding.
Let's see how quick. Let's see how quick. Black Panther, right? That's got to be coming out soon. The Batman. What?
Is that your final answer? That is the answer. Yes. That is, for Letterboxd users, The Batman is the most anticipated film of next year. And then let's see. I think Black Panthers. I'm looking at. I think it's number 7 on the list for the users. Yeah, there's a bunch of other films there listed.
Dude, Google has Avatar 2. Like, let me laugh. Yeah, right. That thing's
that's on this list as well from Letterboxd. Number 9.
Wow.
For anticipated films. Yeah, I think this list has like
it's
5 other superhero movies on here.
It's been like what, 10 years since the last one out, and it's not more anticipated. Like,
don't worry, if you're not anticipating this one, there's 3 other sequels after this one that are being made, whether we want them or not.
What was number 10? I can't see what that is.
Scream.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Scream is on the list.
That's what it looked like, but I couldn't tell. But yeah, no, I'm excited about the Batman too. It'll be interesting to see how they did it.
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads into another list. This one is from Fandango. They have a list and they polled 6,000 moviegoers. This one was a bit more heavy on the comics than Letterboxd's list. Their top 5, I'll read them through here. 5-1, Jurassic World Dominion. Number 4, Thor, Love and Thunder. Number 3, The Batman. 2, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And number 1, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
I wonder if it's because maybe Letterboxd has people that are like really way more into movies, and Fandango is for the casual
I think
viewer
so.
or
if you
watcher.
Look at
maybe
these are like blockbuster, like this would be our box office draft if we did it. You see Letterboxd, and I like the Letterboxd list because you have like the indie, the Oscar films. You have Killers of the Flower Moon. You have Don't Worry, Darling. You have films. It's like, okay, this could be a awards contender. You have some art films, and they're also mixed in with some fun ones like Scream or whatever. But of the 2 lists, I know I just kind of briefly showed you them. You have a favorite, John? Is there one that you like better than the other?
I would have to go, I think, with Fandango, even though it's really like comic book heavy. That second half is looking all right. Top Gun, Mission Impossible. I don't know. It's a tough one because they're both got some good stuff in it, but I don't know.
That's my exact thought too. It's like I like the Letterboxd list, but 9 and 10 on Fandango of Top Gun Maverick and Mission Impossible 7. Those are the 2 I am most looking forward to. So I got to side with that list.
Yeah.
Kyle, you?
Yeah, I was going to say Letterboxd because it did have a mixture, but I do want to see the new Top Gun. Because I got the need for speed.
Is it maybe that can be if COVID is okay, knock on wood, by this summer, the three of us, we're going to be getting our volleyball shorts on and heading out to the theater.
Yeah, okay.
Do a live show from the theater.
All right. Well,
we'll go to the drive-in.
Yeah.
Play volleyball in front of the screen.
Live reenactment of the thing. Okay. Well, we talked about a film briefly that are on both of these lists, and that will lead into our next in and out point. Avatar 2. It was number 7 on Fandango's list, number 9 on Letterboxd, but maybe James Cameron will be able to get 2 spots on next year's list, because here's what he wants to do.
Avatar 3.
He wants to take his films and make 2 cuts for each of his films. One for streaming, one for theatrical release. In an interview with Variety, James Cameron discussed his desire for these 2 versions for 2 different places, one for theaters, one for streaming services. He says, I think what we can see is an expanded form of cinema. I want to do a movie that's 6 hours long and 2.5 hours long at the same time. Same movie. You can stream it for 6 hours, or you can go and have a more condensed roller coaster, immersive version of that experience in a movie theater. Same movie, just one that's a novel and one that's a movie. Why not? Let's just use these platforms in ways that haven't been done before.
Did we? What?
I like the idea, but he's nuts.
He's nuts.
I know. It says James Cameron wants to make 2 cuts. We just want to see 1 cut at this point, dude. Like, what is going on?
Show us anything. Show us a trailer. Show us a scene. Like, it's been 10 plus years here. Let's go.
And I gotta imagine it almost reads like an Onion article. Like they just got James Cameron doped up on something, and stream of consciousness came out.
That same movie. You can do this. You can do that. Same movie. Yeah.
I guess I get what he's. I mean,
I get what he's saying, but it's also
think about it. Like if you could allow Marvel fans to just consume more Marvel content, they would do it happily. So I guess this is his way of thinking of how can I monetize and add more content to something that people want to watch. But I mean,
yeah, because it's probably cheaper to, when you're on the set of Avatar 2 and you already have all these people there, just let's do an extra hour of footage, and then we'll just cut that part out, and then we have it, and we can sell it 2 different ways. And Quentin Tarantino did something very similar to this. He turned The Hateful Eight into like an extended Netflix miniseries. I think he put in deleted scenes, he cut it around, he made it into like an expanded version of the movie. And I think he did it with he did a novel of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, adding in more scenes to flesh out the story. So it's not unheard of. But yeah, it's just funny. I think we're in a world nowadays where every showrunner, whenever they have a new show coming out, they always have to say the thing is like, well, this isn't a show for us. This is more of a 10-hour movie. That's always the thing. It's a 10-hour movie this season. And it's just like, there's something to the episodic story structure. It's worked for 70, 80, 90 years. It's been around. It's worked. Don't break something that's not broken. And
and also how about a tighter story and a tighter script to where we just filmed 12 hours of people talking and it was fantastic. It's just like, can we kind of make sure, tighten this thing up and make sure it's a story that's worth all the time that,
because half the time you watch that 10-hour movie and that's actually just a 10-hour pilot to this is our premise pilot. This is what the show is going to be about. And it's like, no, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. I need the details, and let's move on. Come on.
I want to see them sleeping in real time.
Yeah.
I want to watch.
It's just the Truman Show. Yeah.
Yikes.
All right. Well, we'll see if we see a 2-hour movie, a 6-hour movie, a 1-minute trailer at this point of Avatar 2 before the year is out. We won't.
What happens if this guy dies before this stuff comes out? There's got to be insurance policies.
James Cameron has some kind of frozen cryogenic thing that he can put himself in.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's gonna be around. He's gonna be around.
Yeah.
All right. We got another in and out point, and this one feels like it's been, it feels like it's been 20 years since Avatar 2, and it's actually been 20 years since this song came out. 2002's Avril Lavigne's hit single "Sk8er Boi." Do you remember where you were in 2002, Kyle, for "Sk8er Boi"? Were you a skater boy?
I was not a skater boy. I lived on gravel. I could not be a skater boy. I would have busted my lip and fell off the skate. The skateboard.
Well, let's see here. "Sk8er Boi" is going to be celebrated by the 37-year-old singer with something big. She told an iHeartRadio podcast, quote, "Recently, with it being almost the 20th anniversary, a lot of people have been asking me to play this song on some TV shows. So it keeps being brought up and people will always reference it to me. And so I'm actually going to turn this song into a film and take it to the next level." "Sk8er Boi, the movie."
No.
Who's in? Fandango has already named it the #1 film. Oh, man.
Were they asking for a film or just appreciating the song? I mean, why can't they appreciate the song and not want something else with it?
No offense, Avril Lavigne, but the reason why everyone's talking to you about this song when they see you, or maybe your agent's telling you about, because this is your song. This is it. This is like, what else are they going to talk to you about?
Yeah.
"Oh, we want you to perform your latest single. That one, the one you just had, that thing." It's like, no, of course they want the hits. You got to play the hits.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to play the hits, man. Although I did hear, I think she is coming out with a new album. So maybe she's marketing that off of this. I mean, there's always that little switcheroo happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Like let's say she does the guest spot in SNL. This would be one of the songs. And then a new song from the album's this one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no details or casting or studio information, probably because it's either in the very early stages or it's not that's happening yet. She just floated this idea out there. But this is what she said about maybe a possible plot. I mean, quote, "You know what it was like in high school? You have all the different groups and cliques, and there's like skaters, preps, jocks. It's kind of like a missed opportunity at love. The skater boy is in love with the preppy girl, but like she's too cool for him. But then 5 years later, she's feeding the baby and she's all alone. She wishes she would have followed her heart and not tried to live up to society's expectations."
So didn't she make a music video for her song?
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah. So can't she just live with that? Isn't
Do
that
the all too
it's the
well
very
Taylor
same
Swift
thing
edition and make it 10-minute
Yeah.
Sk8er Boi film?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just I just feel like every movie, isn't that like every movie set in high school?
Yes.
It's like every high
It's
school
Euphoria.
Disney movie.
It's like it's yeah, because I would say there's a song in High School Musical, "Stick to the Status Quo." It's literally about staying within your clique, and this we already got it for our generation. It's that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It doesn't sound like we're going to be rushing to the theater for "Sk8er Boi."
I mean, who knows if it'll even come out? Let's see if the people that develop these things even want to go deal with "Sk8er Boi." Same old, same old. Who knows?
Yeah, there's the 8 in the skater.
That's what makes it trendy.
8. I wonder if Fast and the Furious was mad about like they didn't do this for the 8th film. Instead of like whatever Fast 8, they could have put in, fast skates, and they put like the 8 or something in the film. I don't know. Missed opportunity. Maybe Avril has that on copyright, but
maybe.
All right. One last thing to talk about. Another kind of 90. Well, I guess Avril Lavigne was early 2000s. We'll have to go a little bit farther back to get to the 90s to talk about Home Improvement and Pen 15 star Richard Karn. On January 2nd, the actor teased an exclusive NFT drop with crypto company Super Fandom. These included a phone call with Karn, a golf session with him, even hiring him to be in your movie, whether it's Sk8er Boi or another film, he would be available. But then 2 days later, he backtracked and tweeted, along with a very nice photo of himself, I might add, "I've thought long and hard about NFTs. and I've decided it's not something I need to do. I got a lot of questions with this one.
Yeah, me too. What is happening? What?
John, correct me if I'm wrong, but NFTs are very confusing to me. I'm an old man now.
Mm-hmm.
Is a phone call with him, a golf session, him cameoing in your movie, is that an NFT?
So recently, people have expanded the thought of NFTs to be anything. Basically.
Am I an NFT right now?
If you listed online, sure, why not?
Okay, cool.
I would assume that the phone call would be recorded, and that would be an NFT, or a token that allows you to have a phone call. So maybe you don't redeem it right away. I'm not sure exactly the details, but yeah, the whole kind of NFT thing has expanded. I saw something today where I guess a bunch of people bought one of the original Dune concept drawing books and are trying to make NFTs of the drawings, even though they don't have the rights to it. They only own the book, and the whole thing is flown out of control. But I just find it weird that these fit better on Cameo than as NFTs to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like
it's like some kind of charity auction you could do.
Yeah.
Sure.
So he's basically trying to auction himself off as an NFT for his services that are almost Cameo-like in nature.
Yeah.
But
what
then
a weird.
But then 2 days later, it's like I thought long and hard about them, and I decided it's not something I need to do. And then this is why I mentioned the picture, because it's a nice photo of him. But why is the picture like a part of this tweet?
Yeah.
Because it's like you could have just tweeted that and that would have been fine. But then to include a photo of you, I don't know, having dinner,
almost like this itself is an NFT.
Is it a bait and switch?
But it's not an NFT, actually, because everybody can download this one for free.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, you guys wanted an NFT. I'm not going to do it, but here's a photo of me that you can use in an NFT. Wow, he's on another dimension. This thing.
Yeah,
my mind is blown.
He is playing chess for sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll have to.
I still don't understand NFTs, but sure.
Someone can now take a screen grab of this and use this NFT.
Yes.
With Richard Karn and the three of us, and then I don't know. They can.
Then we're in the world. We're in the Matrix, man.
Yeah, we are. Okay. All right. I don't know what else to say about this. I don't know. I gotta move on. I gotta move on to the shows we're talking about tonight. In order to talk about them, we have to go back. Send us back.
Back in time.
We're back, baby.
Gotta get back in time.
John, I just want to say real quick, that image of Rich, I kind of liked it just being there. As like a blank, instead of our logo, just having that there, it's kind of like a nice, comforting image. It kind of worked well there. But sorry, no, we're going to go back to Archive 81. That's what we're talking about tonight. The series premiere, Mystery Signals, January 14th. January 14th for this Netflix series to drop, and is about an archivist who's hired to restore a collection of tapes when he finds himself reconstructing the work of a filmmaker and her investigation into a dangerous cult. Okay, I believe we've all seen this film, or this first episode. John, what did you think of Archive 81?
It's interesting. I like the aspect of kind of the found footage. I think that's a cool approach to take, and I kind of like how it's not all degraded footage. We get to see the subjects of the footage in clarity, but then we also see them in this degraded footage, cropped down to a 3:4, as it suits the storytelling of the more modern storyline. I think it was a little slow starting off. I mean, I kind of see the parallels that they're drawing between his family and what's happening in the tapes, especially with the song kind of going on. It's a little weird that we see more than what's in the tape. We get a lot of like his flashbacks of him as a kid and some stuff like that and things that are on the tape, which I think is a little bit weird, but I guess it's kind of necessary for the storytelling. But overall, yeah, it's been interesting so far. I've only seen one episode. I think I probably need to see a little bit more to get into it, but
yeah. I do like how the story is told. As you mentioned, like we're seeing like the two time periods for the most part as he's working on these tapes and he's viewing these tapes. Then we go into that flashback into that world when this woman was making this kind of documentary project on this building, and we're points we're watching it on the tape, and then other times it's the nice looking Netflix high quality version of events, so you don't have to sit there and watch grainy VHS footage the entire time. So I like that, jumping around. Probably for him, because it's a mystery, maybe just jump to the last tape and then you can figure out what happened here if it's something I need to worry about. But yeah, right now it's there's a lot of setup, a lot of questions with this mystery. I'll break some of those down in a minute of what it's kind of throwing out there. But Kyle, what did you think of the first episode?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought I liked the mystery that they have going on. There's a lot happening in this show between the main guy, his own backstory, and then we've got like this LMG director that's kind of watching over him, and then we got this PhD doctor that's doing her own dissertation in another timeline, but somehow it relates back to. There's just a lot of things happening, but I'm interested in the story. They've kind of set the table for what could be an interesting kind of mystery, kind of seeing where things go. I really enjoy it, and like you guys said, I mentioned how the story's told. It's just interesting to note that we're actually getting more info than the main guy is, because he's only seeing what's happening on the tape. And obviously we're getting more information than that once we cut into the story itself. But yeah, I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's always good to have like the audience and maybe ahead of the character sometimes, and you can kind of be along with the ride. Yeah, with kind of like mystery and horror, sometimes it can be hit or miss, and that's what the one thing I'm always worried about, especially starting a new show. This one is based on a podcast, so hopefully, I don't know if it's the same story that they've done before, but hopefully all the like kind of kinks have been worked out, because there is a lot of setup, and especially in those last 4 or 5 minutes, it was just like overload of like, oh, that's a nice little hook. Oh wait, there's another, and it was so yeah. So he's sent up to work in the Catskills, because they can't take this old footage that they had on these tapes that were involved in this fire. They're very delicate, so he has to go up there. Of course, the horror movie tropes of no Wi-Fi, but they give him like a little like life alert button he can press.
Yeah.
But yeah, this woman is doing a project on an apartment building that was rebuilt on property that was burned, and later that building burns, and those bodies are unaccounted for. And then we get to this kind of, I guess, ending moment here where he's watching the tape. He sees the woman that's doing this investigation kind of being dragged away. His dad looks like knows her, is involved in this somehow. He knows his dad died at some point in a fire. So it's just like, oh, wait a minute. So that's a connection there. And then after all that, we pull out and we see that the guy who employed this guy is watching him as he's working on those tapes. So what does that mean? He obviously knows a lot about our protagonist, and our protagonist made a big point to say, hey, I took myself off the internet pretty much. So he did some digging to find all this information about me. So there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Do you have any hypothesis of how this all connects, John? Anything, to look forward to? Anything you want answered?
I have a small prediction. I think that the employer is going to try and burn the facility that he's in while he's in it at the end.
While he's in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I think fire is going to be a huge, obviously, like part of it. Like if there's not a fire in the finale, someplace, somewhere, it has to be. I feel like there's too many people dying in fires in this show to not have some kind of finale with that. Yeah, that's a good guess. Yeah. Anything for you, Kyle?
I mean, there's just so many things. I have most of the stuff written down that you mentioned, but even we have like this connection with the dog, right? What's happening with this dog? Is the dog like this marker between like the two realms? Is he like a bad omen? I don't know. And then we had that hoodie wearing character in the background when he goes to look for a cell phone signal. So
and then I think I noticed, I don't know if it's the same one. I believe he, at least the very next scene, our protagonist is wearing red. I don't know if there's a red hoodie or not, but I don't know if that's something like it's, I don't know. It was a choice though.
It's hard to tell if there's actual like paranormal stuff happening or if it's like figments of people's imaginations almost. So it's really hard. I mean, I'm assuming that there's some kind of paranormal activity happening that could cause all of this, but maybe it's just simply nefarious activities done by people that are, pushing a certain ideology behind whatever's happening or something. I don't know. But
there was like, one thing that pulled me out a little bit. I wonder if you guys think about the effects. There was a point when he was watching like the static and like the kind of bad guy demon, whatever, in the static. I'm like, okay, that's pretty clear what you're doing. It's not really hidden. And then all of a sudden they did this like 3D one. I'm like, and the person I was watching with, like, who's kind of, on the edge of her seat the entire time watching, like laughed at that moment. So it's like that. I'm hoping it gets a little bit better later on. But that effect of the demon 3D was kind of
what was I didn't like so much about the girl who plays the PhD student. She's kind of corny to me, and like some of the things that they do with like her holding the camera, and like the Jessica Lewis like turns the camera around on her, and she's supposed to be like a doctoral candidate. She's like, oh wait, like, oh, you have it on me now, like, and it's just like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. This is so stupid. But I can get past those like little moments, but I don't particularly find her character endearing. I think all the other characters, of what little we've seen, is interesting. So.
Yeah, and I'm curious what's going on the 6th floor. You can't go on the 6th floor. Something's going on.
There's some guy named Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel. There's a rat that got its tail stuck in a trap. I will say, just, you're worried about catching him, and now you can let him out in the woods. Like, I think he'll be fine. Like, he'll recover. It's not like a broken leg. Like, he'll still be able to scurry around and get food. But okay, no, he's taking care of him. Made a little box. He's helping him now. It's his little sidekick as he digitizes these tapes. But I'm interested. I didn't count how many tapes there were. Like, if each tape is an episode.
Like 23, 24? I think it was up there.
Or was it up there? It didn't seem like that, but there's only 8 episodes, so that's not true. But maybe he fails. I mean, I also thought it was funny that like the guy's like, oh, the camera's here too that filmed it all. You won't need that, but it's a part of it. And it's like, oh, something's coming back with that camera. Like, there's no reason for that line. And but
there were a lot of moments where that guy was talking where it's like foreshadowing for sure, and it's like, this guy's stupid if he's going up there to do all this. Like, he's like, it's a good place to be alone, and I'm like, no thank you, I'm not going up there, sorry.
Well, I think I'm gonna keep watching. I it's a short commitment of 8 episodes. It was very intriguing. I'm gonna keep going with it. It sounds like Kyle might.
For sure.
John?
Yeah, maybe. I haven't ruled it out.
Okay. Well, we got another show that you could also start binging. It dropped on January 13th. Peacemaker, the series premiere, A Whole New World. And after recovering from the injuries he suffered during the events of the Suicide Squad 2021, Peacemaker is forced to join the mysterious ARGUS Black Ops Squad, Project Butterfly. All right, here, series premiere. Kyle, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I took it for what it was. I didn't think I wasn't going in thinking that this was gonna like be revolutionary. And you know who I think does a great job of what they're asking him to do? I think John Cena does a fantastic job with what they're asking him to do. He does exactly what he's asking them to do. I think it's a perfect kind of fit for him and this role. And I think it works. Do all the jokes hit all the time? No. Some of them do, enough to make it enjoyable. Some good fight scenes. And for me, a low bar to entry. What did we have when we came into this show? A little bit of backstory, and that's all I need for the investment. And if that's something
they recap the movie for you.
Yeah, that's literally what Marvel should do for their shows and stuff, because even though I know that they want you to watch all that stuff, it's like I need some backstory. What if I don't get to all that stuff? Now I'm in the I can't enjoy this piece. But I thought what they did with recapping, now I'm into it immediately, and bing bang boom, we're on our way. I thought it was a good idea to do that.
Yeah, for me, of the like superhero type shows that we've watched, I like this better for that reason you said. And also it just doesn't take things as seriously as all the Marvel shows, that this is like, it thinks it's better than it is. Like, this and like The Boys, it's not so serious. They're having fun with these characters, because again, it's kind of absurd. This whole superhero and, sonic booms and outfits and like a shiny helmet. It's dumb, at the end of the day, but it's fun. It's like, and that works well with the style of the director and showrunner in James Gunn. It's that humor and that style. It's all of it's here. The little Seinfeld-esque asides of, if I'm fighting Mothra, I need a jetpack. Oh, I gotta get. It's like, no, we're not doing that. And it's just, it's he gets stuck on a tangent, and then you have those bits of humor. You have as we saw in Suicide Squad movie, the graphic language and sex and the violence and the rock soundtrack of the classic hits. So all that stuff is there. And then you have the absurdity of it with like the over-the-top dance sequence that's the opening credits, with the entire cast of them just dancing goofily because they're in a TV show. It's just like he's having fun with the form and the style of things. Before I go too much farther down, John, your thoughts on Peacemaker?
I don't think I liked it as much as you guys. It didn't do anything for me. I wondered why we needed to see John Cena in his underwear or naked like 7 times.
HBO.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I guess it's taking itself not super seriously, which is nice, but I don't think all the humor landed as well for me maybe as you guys did. So I don't it didn't do anything special for me.
Yeah, I will say my next thing literally in my rundown right now is, well, all that being said, it could also be a con, because it depends on the style of humor, and sometimes these jokes do not land. Sometimes it can get tiresome. The Peacemaker character sometimes may work better in an ensemble as a supporting player, because when you take this side character and now he's doing the entire show, whether it's Kramer works with the 4 of them. To give Kramer his entire show might sound good on paper, probably not good when you actually see it, because it's too much. Sometimes you get have too much of a good thing. So there was points where I'm like, all right, we get it. And yeah, like the underwear and the it's just like, oh well, we got to do a fight scene. What can we do to make it? Let's have him, Captain Underpants here and run around with his underwear. But yeah, I will talk a little bit about some surprise reveals I think we got about some of the characters. At least I didn't see it coming. We have his dad, and that's another thing that kind of James Gunn does. I feel like a lot of times his protagonist suffers from like connecting with his dad and like daddy issues, and it made it seem like his dad is like this small town, like old country guy, just whatever. But nope, he has a high-tech super lab in his house and he makes these helmets. It's just like, oh, there's more to him than that. And then we get this character played by Danielle Brooks, who's kind of like this newbie agent. You think, oh, she's kind of naive and, maybe doesn't fit in. But we find out she's actually working undercover for her mom, who is Viola Davis's character from the film. So that was a little bit of a surprise there, at least for me. I got to be honest, even with the movie recap, I'm still a little confused of Viola Davis, and is she bad? Is she good? Like, because Peacemaker, technically, the whole thing of the Suicide Squad is they're villains, but they're not really villains. There are heroes in this.
Yeah.
But then she was like, I think I can't remember exactly what happened in the movie, but I thought she was like turned or something. But wait, is she turned as a good guy or a bad guy? Like, is she like, I don't know. Her and Danielle Brooks is like, is she good or bad, Kyle?
Yeah, I don't know either. But I honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember with the film, but I don't know.
Add some stakes to this here, because she's somehow infiltrated and she's doing something. All the people on Twitter right now are just, you guys are idiots, she's gonna be doing it. Okay, but you could just tell know that like they're setting this up as like this, like, oh, she's the naive newbie.
And if I'm not wrong, I thought like she had control over the bomb situation that was implanted in their neck. But then when Peacemaker was talking to the main the guy there that wants to use him as a contractor, he said, hey, we can just blow you up at any time. And it's like, wait, I thought somebody needs to be in particular control of that. How did you get in control of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's just the tech guy with the beard. I don't know if he
secretly
took the codes, or if this is still a part of this and she was fired from this. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still confused. But outside of that, I can get the basic stuff of Peacemaker having issues with the dad, forced into this assignment that he doesn't want to. I get those beats. Okay, I could follow along with that. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep going with it. Like I said, I enjoyed this more than the other superhero shows, but at the end of the day, I'm not. It's hard for me. Like, unless it's like something like The Boys that I can really like. I think it's different and exciting. It kind of just feels like, okay.
I mean, because at the end of the day, as much as you might have enjoyed this, there's still a lot of formulaic stuff going on here. A lot of beats are similar because all these superhero films are dealing in the same realm, and it's going by this certain structure. I mean, it's almost impossible not to. So that's what's holding me back from being like, I'm just going to go all in, because it's like, I feel like I'm going to have seen this before. Is John Cena enough to make me want to keep with it? Maybe I'll watch it in the future in my own, like, if I get a spare moment, but I don't think I'm going out of my way to watch something like this.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is Peacemaker. That's all we got for that. We have some time tonight. We can do them slow. We can do them fast. Maybe we could do them quick, because that is the name of the segment. We'll do a quick check-in.
Quick check.
Yes, we're gonna start off with Kyle tonight. What have you been watching, Kyle?
So, I've been watching finishing up the first season of Righteous Gemstones. I just finished it up, I think last week. But I had been sticking with it for the first few episodes when it was, coming out initially. Then I kind of went away from it. I'm not sure why. It's not that I didn't like it. It was just, I just thought it was okay. And that's pretty much my review for season one. I think it has ups and downs. I think there are stronger episodes than others. But overall, talking about the full scope of the season, I did enjoy it. Some of the jokes do kill and are laugh out loud funny, but then you just have episodes where I was just like, okay, this is just okay. So with that said, I love Danny McBride. I like Adam Devine. I like those guys. I think what they do is funny. And yeah, I think for this show, also the setback for me is I never grew up in that world of like, I know televangelists and I know like the scope of them and stuff like that, but I know several people from the South that have watched this show and they're like, I know people like this. And I think it hits more home for them because it's like, it's right in their backyard. Like there are people like this all over the South. So I can get the main gist, but I think for people that are really, deal with this kind of right wing, like Jesus nuts, out there, I think it is funnier to them. But with all that said, it's still funny. They still get up to some crazy things because it is Danny McBride, and overall, I think it's okay. And I'm gonna keep up with season 2.
Yeah, I heard it's a little bit like, I mean, just at least the family structure of it, like Succession in a church, or probably Danny McBride is the Kendall. Looks like Adam is Roman, and then you got Logan and Shiv in there. But John, I think you've been watching it. Do you have anything to add to Kyle's review here?
No, I think this season 1 ended strong. I mean, I watched it as it came out, so it's been a little while since I watched any of it. I haven't started the next season yet, but I remember it leaving off on a good note, and the last couple episodes kind of ramping it up a bit and making me want to see season 2. So I'm glad it's back. I got to get the gang together who I watched it with, and we'll sit down and hopefully be able to see some of these. But yeah, I'm excited for 2.
All right, yeah. All right, yeah. Maybe if you guys, talk me into it, maybe I'll watch it at some point and catch up on it. They're half hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my next show is on HBO Max as well. We're going 3 in a row here. My show is based on the 2014 novel, and it's called Station 11. It's a mini series that's set 20 years after a flu pandemic and the group of survivors who make their living as traveling Shakespearean performers. So I started this thing. It dropped December 16th. That's when it started. And then it just finished up its finale the other day, January 13th. I started pretty much right when the latest variant, emerged. And the first episode, when the start of this pandemic, it hit hard. It really brought me back to 2020. It put me right back into that mindset. It was tough to shake off just how they did it. It was too real. Shockingly, I looked up after the fact, it was filmed in January of 2020. So the show about a pandemic shot their pilot episode that felt too real before the pandemic that took over. They had to then shut down this pandemic show because of a pandemic. But it ended up being able to restart and finish. And this show reminds me, it's very close, I think, to like The Leftovers, if it can be. It's less worried about like the pandemic and this is how it spread and this is what happened. It's more about like how the people were affected and the bonds and the grief and everything involved with that. And what they did was, which was interesting, they released 2 episodes at a time. It's the HBO Max weird schedule that they did. They did 2 a week. And the odd episode was actually like pre or in the pandemic. And then the even episode was the 20 year later. So there'd be points where you're meeting a new character that we later find out their connection in the next episode. Like it's structured in a way. It's like, how is this person going to connect? Who knows this person? And then it all connects by the end. And I was like 7 episodes in, and I was shocked to find out that it was a miniseries because the way it was feeling, I'm like, there's so much to cover here. I don't know how you're gonna connect this person and that person and this and that, but it's somehow, I won't obviously say how, it all ends very well. And I could see it having more stories. There's a lot more at the table, but also it feels like a complete whole at the same time. I would really recommend the show. I think, it's 10 episodes. There's a great ensemble. It's led by Mackenzie Davis. And little Kristen here, Matilda Lawler, who plays young Kristen, was also great as well. So I don't know. I saw this one tweet. It's like, what was the last year that somebody playing the same character, two actors, were nominated for an award? Because this could be that kind of year for Matilda here. But we'll wait and see. But that's my review of Station 11. Any questions?
I have only seen the first episode, and I just watched it recently. But learning that it was made before the pandemic is pretty wild, because it was like, it was like almost spot on with everything. It's pretty crazy. The only thing I have to say about the first episode, this grown man is hanging out with this little girl the entire time, and it's just random and weird.
You got stuck with her.
Yeah.
What can you do? You didn't know that this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. That is Station 11. John, what do you got?
All right. It was a little bit of a slow movie week for me. I caught up on some quests in RuneScape. If you don't know what RuneScape is, it is a old MMO that I played in middle school and high school. My account got transferred over to RuneScape 3 when they did that, so a couple of years ago I restarted it, and I've been working my way through. I just completed the Monkey Madness 2 quest, which is a Grandmaster level quest, and it marks the start of my gambit to finish the last couple of quests. I believe I have 3 left at this point, maybe 4. So I am gunning for the end here. It's very much a nostalgia game from my youth, and I managed to complete this quest last night, actually this morning at like 5 a.m. by the tiniest minuscule amount of health. So I was very relieved. Yes, thank you for the applause. I was very relieved to have completed it, and I am working towards finishing it and getting my special cape for completing all the quests. So nothing crazy, but interesting to me.
I will say, in the picture, I thought he was holding like one of those high-lie. Have you ever seen the high-lie sport where the ball floats up? That's what I thought it was for a second, and then I realized
bananas at these monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that was it. That's our quick checks tonight. That's it for our show. We did a special Monday night episode. Yeah, we're going to be back to Tuesdays. Hopefully Richard can join us as well next week on Tuesday night when we're back to our usual time slot on Twitch. Next week, we will have 2 shows to talk about. A new show-ish, a reboot, kind of, How I Met Your Father. And then the final season begins of Ozark. I'm about to start season 3 tonight. So I'll catch up and get ready for the season 4 premiere. And we'll talk about that next Tuesday night. Let's see here. Make sure you're following us on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram at Dual Redundancy. You can find episodes of the podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the blog, dualredundancy.com, and of course, twitch.tv/Dual Redundancy, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. I got to thank both you guys for joining me tonight, watching these shows. John directing the Twitch stream, getting the audio up on your podcast player. Couldn't do it without you guys.
Sure, man.
All right. Until next time, I'm David Allen.
I'm John Berwick.
And I'm Kyle Bridger.
And that's all we got for Dual Redundancy. Goodbye, everybody.